Okay, so this time we're going to do something really weird. And this is not so much a technique that you're going to use or a system that you're going to use in a tarot reading. However, it's quite interesting what you might pick up doing this. And this is a practice thing, so you wouldn't necessarily do this with clients and things. So what I want you to do is pick something. So pick, I don't know, something like I've got a new job, yeah? And then what I want you to do is look through the cards face up until you see a card which makes you feel like that card would represent you getting a job. For me, it's that, okay? So I've just literally delved through until I've got to that, and there's just a bing popped in my head, which is like, yeah, that's it, it's that one. Someone's giving me something, you know? Might not be that one for you, you know, it will be a different one for different people, but that is essentially all you're doing. So you're going to pick something else, okay? It can be absolutely anything, okay? So I'm going to think about something completely different. Say, for example, you're thinking about, I'm going to meet someone today. So what card to you says you're going to meet someone today? Just keep going through them until you get a bing that says, this is the card to me that makes me think I'm going to meet someone today. If you can't find any cards, just keep going through the deck. Go through it a second time or a third time. If you really can't do it, there we go. That just made bing. For me, that just made me feel like I'm meeting someone today. You know, if you can't find it from the third attempt, abandon the question or abandon the thing that you're looking for, and then just pick a different question or a different thing, okay? So it's not got to be anything particularly, you know, complicated. Just think of concepts and things like that. So a holiday, for example. What card makes you think of a holiday? Is there any card that's coming to you that is making you think of a holiday? Now what you can do is you can do it so that you're putting all of the cards down like this, one at a time, and looking it through each one and saying, does this make me think of a holiday? No. Does this make me think of a holiday? No. Does this make me think of a holiday? No. Or you could, if you've got enough space, start putting loads of cards down. In fact, all of them. If you put them all on the floor, for example, what you could do is you can say, you know, put them all over the place and then just zoom in on a particular card. Now I don't have enough space to do that here in front of the camera, so I'm just going to go back to just putting it down like this. So I'm looking for one that reminds me, that's it. That to me makes me think that I'm going on holiday, okay? So you're just literally picking one of those things, and depending on how you want to do it, whether you want to just go through it one by one and just continue to ask yourself if that card represents the thing or not. You can just zoom in on one by laying them all out. I mean, it depends on really how much space you've got, doesn't it? In terms of whether you're going to be able to do that or not. But this is literally, as opposed to the cards telling you what they mean or information coming to you, you're essentially selecting cards yourself by having the choice of any of them to represent the concept or the thing that you're thinking of, you know, which is a little bit strange considering we've been doing cards where we're shuffling them and we're just putting up with the cards that we've got. We're actually selecting them this time. Now some readers will use what's called a significator card. So when they ask a question or something like that, they might scroll or go through the deck until they get a card which represents the client's question. So what might happen is they might ask the question, the client might ask a question, is my husband having an affair with me? And they might say, okay, none of this is coming up with or making me think of an affair at all. That one does. So then they might start the reading from ticking up these cards. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. But I have known readers that have done that. So regardless of whether you decide eventually when you do start doing readings for people to do that method or not, it really doesn't matter, because what this technique is designed is to get you to pick the card and not allow the card to pick you. So before, obviously, when people think of these sorts of systems whereby you've got questions and you ask a question and then each one of these has a specific answer and generally only one or two answers, then when you're doing the shuffling here, it revolves around it going in the right order. Whereas with our system that we use, you're reliant more on your ability and your psychic ability and getting the information to come to you than the cards telling you yourself. That's the difference. That's what trips people up, is when they learn the method of each thing means something specific, when they get the old booklet that comes with the cards and each one says, this is what the card means, this is what the card means. I always say, get rid of it. You do not want that book, because you'll forever only apply one meaning to the card. So again, concepts. What is going to be, what does catastrophe look like? What card will I pick for catastrophe? Something catastrophic and terrible happening. I'm just going to go through and see which one really speaks to me as something catastrophic happening. That, I mean, that's a very visual card, doesn't it? Okay, that's all you're going to do. Simple. Just what? Think of a thing, whether it be the start of a story, a concept like life. You could ask life. You could ask death. You could ask what does getting a new husband or a new wife or a new partner look like? You know, any of these things. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to be specific, but you're picking the card that represents that to you. Okay, there we go. Do that and then move on to the next exercise.